Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Frictions back here for another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Cold War Alpha. And obviously the Alpha is a version of the game before beta, so Alpha is like it's a mostly developed game, but it's still not fully finished yet. So pretty much I'm going to be giving my take on the game, my opinion, what I thought about the game overall, the maps, some of the gunplay, and just the gameplay overall. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So first things first, what we're going to be talking about is, obviously, since this is the alpha version of Cold War, I think what people really need to understand is that graphics are not really going to be the best. The graphics on this game, obviously we're playing on PlayStation 4. Gameplay that was shown in some of the trailers before that looked very cool, those were off the PS5. So I think people need to understand that right now the reason why the graphics on the alpha version of Cold War looks so ass is because we're playing on PS4, and plus this is the alpha version of the game, right? So obviously the graphics aren't going to be the best. That's just my excuse. I mean, why would the graphics be any better? Obviously when the PS5 comes out and we got the whole version of the game out, obviously the graphics are going to be very nice and clean. But yeah, there was a lot of complaints, and I heard a lot of comments and people talking about how the graphics were shit. The graphics didn't matter too much to me. Once again, this is the alpha and we're playing on PS4. So yeah, I did end up streaming this game during the weekend. I streamed it 2 times. I didn't stream it yesterday because your boy was having a tough time and I just couldn't deal with it. But for the most part, I did have a general consensus of the game. I do know how it feels. I played quite a lot of it. I had a lot of fun. So what we're going to be talking about now is the maps. We have Satellite, Miami, and Moscow, the 3 maps. I'm not going to be talking about the bigger maps that were on the domination playlist or whatever. Those were just really big and those maps sucked. So that's all I gotta say about those maps. But I'm gonna be a little bit more in-depth about Satellite, Moscow, and Miami. Now I heard a lot of people had a lot of problems with Miami because it was too dark and they didn't like it or whatever. Tight corners, certain spots of the map that was really dark, and obviously if they're snipers they can just sit back and camp and just snipe. In my opinion, Miami is a decent map. I think it's really dope. The design of it I think is a cool map, but it just in reality doesn't work for gunplay and stuff. It's a little dark. A lot of people had a lot of complaints, but for the most part I was okay with Miami. I live in Florida, so it's kind of cool to see like a city that I've been to as a map in a game for Call of Duty, so I thought that was really dope. But yeah, that's my take on Miami. I don't got much to say about it except it's okay at most. Satellite might have been my most favorite map. I did like Moscow quite a bit too. Moscow just felt like a nice 3-lane map. I mean, you had the left, the right side, and the front side. Well, really the middle of the map. And there was 3 different ways you could have flanked. Obviously, one side had a longer range side where you could use snipers. Through the middle is tight. You could use SMGs, ARs, shotguns, whatever. And then the right side was somewhat similar between being able to use long range weapons and close range weapons. So I really did like the structure of Moscow. I did like how the game, the games that I played went on Moscow. So Moscow was a pretty interesting and dope map. Obviously communism, cause fuck it. No, but yeah, I did think Moscow was a pretty dope map overall. And then I think my favorite might have been Satellite. The reason why I like Satellite so much was just because sniping. Everybody knows that this alpha version of the game, they buffed snipers for some reason. They made them pretty fucking good. And the reason they did that is because they want to be able to balance them out and slash nerf, of course, in the beta and in the actual full game. So I did like Satellite because you were able to use snipers, longer range weapons. Obviously the structure of the map, if you went into dunes, there was a lot of head glitch spots. It was much more long range, so you had to use like LMGs or ARs or snipers. It wasn't so friendly for SMGs. But if you went on the right side of the map, where you went through like the little caves and shit, you could use shotguns, you could use SMGs, and even in the bottom dunes of the trenches, through the middle of the map, you could also use some close range weapons. So that's what I really liked about all these 3 maps. You could play a certain style. You could go long range, or you can go SMG, shotgun, closer range. That's the one thing I could appreciate about all these maps that were added in. Some of them, yeah, they are kind of big. I would say Satellite was a little big, I'm not gonna lie, but I do like the way it played. And the one thing about this Call of Duty that I've been enjoying so far is that people are actually pushing each other. I remember for the past year we've been playing MW. Not many people have been pushing each other. It's just waiting it out, camping hard as hell, and just sweating your ass off. But in this game, I had so much fun playing because everybody was just pushing each other. I thought that was really dope. So yeah, that's enough about the maps. That's really what I gotta say about Satellite, Miami, and Moscow. Miami's just the at most. I think Moscow was good, and Satellite was my favorite, mainly because of sniping. But we all know what's gonna happen to snipers in the coming beta and actual full version of the game that releases on November 12th. Snipers are gonna get nerfed. You know, I don't know how badly they're gonna do it. I hope they only nerf them a little bit, you know, just balance them out a bit, because I love sniping. Quick scoping is good, and if they just nerf it just a little bit, you know, they balance them out, I think it will be really good, and you know, snipers will be fine. There's not much for me to really say about sniping, except it was really fucking good during this beta. You know, sniping was just legendary. I was hitting clips left and right. I'm gonna have my boy Helix edit a couple clips of me, you know, just hitting some shots, you know, hitting some nice clips, and I'll probably get that video out in the next couple days, you know, me just hitting clips on Cold War Alpha with sniping. But yeah, that's really what I got to say about sniping. Moving on to SMGs, shotguns, ARs, you know, all those other, you know, classes weapons. We didn't get all the weapons. Obviously in this beta we only got a certain amount of attachments, we only got a certain amount of weapons to use. Basically we got like half of everything that we had. Really, we couldn't use everything that was in the game. We used just about half, the weapons, perks, you know, all that stuff. So in terms of ARs, you know, some of the ARs were good, SMGs, blah blah blah. But one thing that really stood out about this you know, beta was the AK-74U. That thing shredded like nothing else. That AK-74U went in, man. I'm telling you guys, they are going to nerf the fuck out of this gun, and if they don't, then we're definitely gonna see the AK-74U smashing lobbies in the coming near future. But yeah, ARs, you know, the weapons, the feeling of weapons in this game, you know, they just feel, it just feels like Treyarch. It feels like a Treyarch game. It feels a little stiff on the movement. You know, obviously we don't got tactical sprint like we did in MW, but I would say that I really do like the movement in this game. It feels like a Treyarch game. You know, I didn't want this game to be exactly like, you know, Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare game, but I mean, they did a pretty good job. I really did enjoy the alpha. Once again, it's the alpha version of the game. There's not much else I could really say. We didn't get everything that's gonna be coming in the beta or in the actual full version of the game, so I can't give a full review on whether Cold War is worth it or not. From what I've seen in the alpha version of Cold War after playing for a couple of days, you know, throughout the weekend, I truly did enjoy playing this game. Obviously, my dumbass, I did already buy the whole version of the game. I paid $89, you know, to, you know, get the PS5 version of the game, you know, get the best edition possible. You guys know I'm a dumbass, and I've been buying every Call of Duty for the past couple years. You know, I just love playing Call of Duty in general. But for the people who are skeptical about, you know, moving on to the next Call of Duty, or haven't played all the Call of Duties because, you know, they just don't like all of them, I think this one, especially if you do like Treyarch, I honestly do think Cold War actually might be worth it. Two reasons I would say why you should get Cold War is, if you love campaign, I have a feeling this campaign for this Treyarch game is going to be very good. And a second reason is zombies. Zombies is another big reason as to why many people like buying, you know, Black Ops and, you know, Treyarch games. You know, Treyarch just does a good job on zombies. I would say for multiplayer, I think it's worth buying. I mean, so far from what I've seen, most people have enjoyed it. You know, everybody's been complaining about, you know, SBMM, which is skill-based matchmaking, of course. And, you know, honestly, like, after playing a lot, I realized I was getting into sweatier and sweatier lobbies, and I'm not gonna lie, I did start getting pissed a little bit. But I mean, that's a topic for another day. SBMM is a whole nother beast, you know, a whole nother like topic to talk about. Literally, I can make a whole video just talking about, you know, skill-based matchmaking, man. That is something else. But it is very strong within this alpha. I felt it, everybody else felt it. We all know we were getting into sweatier lobbies, you know, with people on our same level. I feel like at the start of the alpha, I was playing against noob players, then 2 days later I was playing against fucking pro players who think they were fucking doing something important. No, bro, we're just playing an alpha, chill. No, but that's really all I got to say for the game. So far I do think it's worth it, but beta's coming on October 8th, so I will be streaming and making a couple videos on the beta for Cold War. And once the beta's finished, then I'll make a video confirming whether it's worth it or not, in my opinion, of course. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Fleslit.